Rowena, and today I'm going to be channeling on the topic of how to balance the divine masculine and divine feminine energy within. So keep watching. So let's speak about the topic of divine masculine and divine feminine energy. The first thing to note is that before you arrive in your physical reality, you are part of one whole, which still exists within you. But as you break off into your 3D reality experience, you are embodying certain aspects of this divine energy. And so, one of the easier terminologies to be used upon this is grouping it up into divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Under both of these, there are actually multiple facets of divinity within it, but this simplifies the expression and discussion about it more easily. Essentially, what happens is you're experiencing the world of duality and everything in between. And so this question has been asked as there is a feeling of imbalance from the asker. And this can be relevant to most of you, as having your physical experience is a constant practice of bringing yourself into a balanced state of being. And the thing is that complete balance of a 50% mark is not particularly possible. It's just a thereabouts to aim for. It's to aim for a balance that feels good within you personally. Because you see, the energies that make up you in your wholeness and your completion, in your personality, are going to need a different strike of balancing forces in order for you to feel balanced in comparison to anybody else. So you and your personal energetic signature will require a different balancing of factors for you to find your personal sensation of balance, which might look very different from a friend's or anybody else's. You are unique, so this is a personal exploration of your own energies and finding something that feels really good in a state of balance for you, as well as your life and your lifestyle. So we would say the best way to begin is to just notice where you feel out of balance in your life and where you feel in balance, and perhaps even writing this down so it's clear to you. What often happens when there's a strong imbalance, or some people even describe it as a block in one of these types of energies, whether it might be masculine or feminine energy, oftentimes a strong resistance to one of these two energies may appear if there has been a large challenge around that. Perhaps there has been some kind of trauma where a person, event, or situation representing that energy may have had a negatively perceived encounter with that, which then would make that individual reject or repel or suppress that energy within their life and within themselves as a self-protective mechanism. So the first thing to be would just be check in with yourself whether you may have had a strong emotional response or experience in your life where a person, event, or situation that could have been representing the divine masculine or feminine may have shocked you in your system, and whether that has been overcome and healed, or whether that might have created some kind of repression or resistance to that energy from there forth. And that will give you a lot of clarity on where you are at. The next thing is an imbalance can happen if one has, so you are these beautiful divine beings that are constantly on a learning curve. You are learning from your experience, you're learning from the people around you. And if you have been exposed to or spent most of your time in one extreme or the other of this energy, then you're likely to have taken on those characteristics within yourself and developed those qualities and characteristics within yourself, which will also mean that they are your strength. But as you have heard, is that your strengths also sometimes turn into your weaknesses. So it would be to embrace the qualities of strengths that you've picked up. So for example, in some societies, the divine masculine energy is much more promoted and valued, as this creates, for example, the sense of achievement, of success, of goals, of drive, of organization, and it's very much a doing energy. And so in some societies, that's much more valued over the divine feminine energy, which is the giving, the receiving, the nurturing, the being intuitive, the being emotionally connected aspect of things. And so if you've been around a family or people or a society that really values one over the other in an extreme sense, then you're likely to have picked up those qualities within yourself and not really practice the qualities of the other end of the spectrum. And if within your surroundings the other end of the spectrum was actually rejected, you may have picked up a want to suppress that in order to continue fitting in with the environment that you are in. And we say this in such a loving way. This is not a bad thing, it's just something that can sometimes happen. And what you can do about it is to just notice where you hang out and spend most of your time, whether it is in the divine masculine or in the divine feminine. And what you're wanting to do is, these two energies are a part of you, they're all within you. It just means that one side might be dormant or less activated. But you can simply change that by starting to incorporate more of the energy that you want to strengthen within you, which will then bring balance. So if you are mostly divine masculine oriented, then you can start incorporating more of the divine feminine qualities, bringing in more of that self-nurturing time, bringing in more time to connect to your emotions and check in with how you are feeling, doing activities of where you are giving and receiving and socializing in a heart-connected way. Those are some ways that you can start to balance the divine feminine energy. Some other ways of balancing, for example, if you're more oriented in the divine feminine and you want to strengthen the divine masculine, you can start placing some attention on goal setting and striving to achieve certain outcomes by certain deadlines. Perhaps getting in your body more and doing more, for example, things that connect you with your muscles, exercise, or a sports game that has got rules within it, or planning as well, something, for example. So these are all different traits of the divine masculine that you can start incorporating into your life as well. And you might notice at the beginning there might be some resistance to doing that because you are in your comfort zone at the very opposite end of the spectrum. But just taking small steps and incorporating some of the opposite qualities within your life will bring that balance that you're wanting. And you don't have to necessarily go to the extreme which makes you feel the most uncomfortable, but find something that is doable for you and that you will not reject in the moment and that you will continue to do, and that will naturally start to build that balancing effect within yourself. You can also do such things as meditations or visualizations of seeing both sides of these energies merging and combining. So for example, the divine feminine energy tends to occupy the left part of the body. The divine masculine energy tends to occupy the right side of the body. And you can visualize and meditate with the intention of combining the two in a balanced way, seeing them both merge, working in unison, and remembering that they are part of the same thing, part of one whole, not isolated from one another, but seeing them as working in coherence and all of them being a divine part of you will allow for you to start making these energetic shifts rather than isolating them and seeing them as outside of you. So that's a powerful way of as well being able to bring balance and harmony more quickly within your being. We are so happy to connect with you and look forward to connecting to you again soon. So much love and light your way. So there you have it, my team of light's perspective on how to balance the divine masculine and divine feminine energy within. If you would like to join me for free live group channeling sessions where you can have your questions featured and you can ask questions, you can join my Facebook group, The Sacred Space. The link is just down below in the description. And this is free for a limited time only, so make sure to save yourself a space. And I look forward to seeing you so soon. So much love.